Welcome everybody to another episode of we haven't actually have a name for this stuff, so
Stop doing these introductions. We should
no,
just
this is
talk.
this is our introduction. I'm here with our new made multi-billionaire, fiatjaf.
Yeah,
Fiatjaf, how do
speaking
you
directly
feel
from the Bahamas.
now that Jack Dorsey bought Nostr from you for $25 billion? How do
Yeah,
you
it's
feel?
very nice. I have money to buy a Windows computer to play StarCraft. But Jack Dorsey, like he put me in charge of the company, so I have to do all the work, and so I don't have time to spend the money.
Let's see. So we're gonna watch this thing.
Mm. Yeah,
I,
they
prob-
don't have the replace
I probably should
anywhere.
have set it up before, but okay.
What the hell?
Doxing my StarCraft ID here. So let's pause this. We're gonna watch a game between Flash and Bisu, I think. So it's a Protoss
Why
versus
is the
Terran.
screen flashing?
Yes, we already know that the screen is flashing. This
Do we
was the
know?
same. This was the same last time. The screen, your
Yeah, I
screen
know,
is
but
flashing.
okay.
I
But
mean, you
last
you
time
wanted
there
to
was
do.
a fix for it. There
No, there
was a fix
wasn't.
for it. It wasn't flashing all the time.
Okay, I don't know. I don't
Okay,
have a fix for you. You're just
I
gonna
can
have to
close my
suffer it,
eyes and just feel the game
or
through my veins.
or you just get a Windows computer and we can do this the regular way.
So
Um,
Bizu wins this game, right? Because Protoss always wins against Terra.
Other than the fact that this is Flash, so that kind of spoils it. I don't know who's going to win this.
I've watched many games between Flash and Bizu, like from the old days when Bizu was very good, and still Bizu has a very hard time. He tries so much. It's interesting. He does all the things he can do all at the same time, and he screws Flash a lot, but in the end he loses
Yeah,
every
Flash is
time.
it's strange, just like a machine or something. I don't know. It's weird how he just wins everything.
Did you watch the ASL? He played random.
Yeah. I did. That was funny.
That was very interesting. It was funny, but he got there many times,
Yeah, okay.
more times than he should.
Okay, but like that's also funny, right? It's like, oh, he's Terra now. Of course, he's gonna win. Have
And
I
he
seen
did.
this game
Right.
already? I get a feeling like for some reason I've already seen this game. Like that he's actually going to scout this. That would be very random. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So
This
there's
is
a
the worst map, probably, right? Benzene.
yeah. It's a very old one. It's 2017. Is this?
2017 is not very old. It's yesterday. 2007, it was very old.
Okay. Fair enough. Um. So what actually?
So you wanna talk about John Cavallo? I don't even know what's the deal with John Cavallo. I was off Twitter for a month, and then people were talking about zero conf.
Yeah, but
Uh,
this is now 2 weeks old already. So I don't know. You're gonna have to look up the tweet because I'm watching the replay.
okay, I don't know what's the tweet.
I think the tweet was the latest one on this subject was something like you either he wasn't necessarily wrong. I think he's like how are we gonna scale this, and the only few paths you have for scaling is increasing the block size, side chains, something like that. Or what if lightning doesn't work? How are we I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, a tweet from me. I did this tweet.
Yeah, you started it. I think it was a
Oh,
response on your tweet.
uh, yeah. Yeah, lightning doesn't work. Blah blah blah.
But that might be even older, and then there was a newer one. Basically, there was something about bigger blocks in there, and everybody lost their shit because it was like hilarious that he started to talk about bigger blocks.
Because he was the guy who was opposed to bigger blocks, right?
Well, he was the guy who flipped the bird to Roger Ver, so that's mostly it.
He did what? Eh,
He put his middle finger up to well, no, Roger Ver.
No, Roger Ver did it.
Yes, but then he
Yeah.
did it back, so that's at the end.
Oh,
At the end, when Roger got mad, then at the end he started to troll, if I recall correctly. Or did he flip? Did he put his middle finger back? I don't even remember.
didn't watch that. I only saw like the
It's years ago.
thumbnail of the video that it has Roger Ver with the middle finger.
But
Yeah, I
uh,
can't find the tweet.
so take us through the process that recently occurred. So there was a Twitter interaction with Jack, where somebody suggested to fund Nostr because I think Jack
No,
wants to donate.
Jack posted something, posted a thing about. Look at Flash. What's he doing? Okay.
Getting a lot of
Uh,
gas. He had a
Jack
gas steal,
posted
so
something about how to do a decentralized social network and something, and then he ended with someone recommend me other things that I didn't talk about in this post, and then people said Noster, and then apparently he looked and he liked. Yeah, that's it.
okay. So he looked into Nostr, and then there was like, I don't know how to. Then he sent a tweet like, I don't know how to fund this thing. And then
Yeah,
right after he said like,
yeah.
I
He
found a
he
way.
was like he was like in his first post he was talking about how he was funding multiple things, and then after he liked Noster, he posted about it, and people were started like asking if he was going to fund Noster, and he said, "Oh, I'm trying to figure out." Then he talked to William first, the JB55 guy. I don't know what they talked about. Then he messaged me asking how to fund Noster, and then I suggested, "Oh, you could pay some of the people that are developing stuff so they can work full time." And then he said, "Oh, how about I give you the money and you decide who to fund? Like you have all the work
Uh
and
huh.
yeah."
So did you
So
did you write
I
the
was
did
I
you write
didn't
that
write
document?
anything.
Somebody
Oh
wrote
yeah,
a document on how to distribute the money.
that was after he gave me he sent me the coins. He didn't ask for any name or paper. I said no bureaucracy, no papers, and he said yeah, just give me a Bitcoin address.
Interesting.
And then I wrote those things because they were in my mind. I was thinking, and yeah, this is very stressful. I don't know. I think it would be better if he hadn't given any money. He could have just talked about it, and that would be enough.
Yeah, because now there are perceived expectations and
Yeah,
on your end
yeah,
at least.
yes. It's very yeah. And after he talked about so much interest, so many people have started becoming interested and became interested, and a lot of people talking, writing new things, and in these 2 days, right? And other like companies uh thinking about integrating somehow. I don't know. Uh, all of this would have been enough, I think, with all
Yeah,
this
but I'm
money.
not
This
sure.
money is
I think the 14 Bitcoin thing is it's hype, right? I think that sparks more interest than just
Yeah,
merely the fact
that's
that he
true.
talks about it.
Yeah, if he had just talked about it, but since he gives money to everybody, if he
Hmm.
hadn't given money, it would mean that he didn't really like it.
But
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting to what extent this is actually helpful. The question is like, to what extent is there what's the added value of the money here?
I'm
Um,
worried about like people that do not get the money feeling bad about it,
uh huh.
and yeah,
It
that's
complicates
a
things,
bit.
right? Because now
Yeah,
because if there's no money involved, then it's all based on some uh, voluntary. It's very voluntary. There are no expectations,
yeah,
so you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with the people per se because it's like they can't demand anything or uh, yeah, they can't become disappointed. There are no there are no expectations, and now all of a sudden there maybe there are. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that there are expectations, but it's I think it's good to at least keep in mind that uh, a part of those expectations are perceived on your end. They might not actually be there.
mm, okay, yeah. Well, I when other projects get money like that, I perceive them with like I perceive expect whatever. I don't know how to speak. You
Hmm.
understand? Okay, next topic. What's the next topic?
No, I'm not sure. I'm
If
not sure.
if
I'm not sure we're done on this. So no, we can put it in a more general sense. It's so there's no in like there's no money in Bitcoin, right? Of course, there's a lot of money in Bitcoin, but there's no money in working for or with Bitcoin or something unless you're in exchange. And this becomes less
well,
true over time, but
there are
this
many Bitcoin companies. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, okay.
I don't know if they make money.
Okay,
I
so
have never seen any.
for the most part, of course, we have exchanges, right?
Yeah.
That's not particularly they're important, but
But
it's not
the
particularly interesting.
exchanges, like, they don't make money with Bitcoin,
Of course, yeah, also
apparently.
true, right? It's
So it's not Bitcoin thing. Like I just heard that Kraken guy on an interview. He was saying that Bitcoiners want him to be just Bitcoin, just a pure Bitcoin exchange, and
yeah,
he
then you got
said
to be
clearly
marginalized.
that
Yeah,
yeah, he said clearly, oh, it wouldn't be possible to make money with that.
right. Well, I guess you can make money. I don't necessarily. I'd have to ask because we have a big the oldest broker slash exchange here in the Netherlands. I think it was 2012. Those guys started. They're Bitcoin only. Um, but I don't know to what extent I don't know what their books look like and what actually makes them money, or they just have a large bag or whatever. Um,
Yeah, there's probably some money. I think the Kraken guy was just thinking about, oh, it wouldn't be a company of this size,
Correct. Yeah.
of course. Yeah,
So that's the thing, right? You're gonna be marginalized. The same thing is like if you compare a ledger with like so hardware wallets. I guess that's a business of like a real business. But then you have CoinKite with the cold card, and you have Ledger, and I imagine Ledger is far bigger uh, than
yeah,
than CoinKite. So and I think that's also because of the shit coins.
yeah, definitely.
So, um, so okay, we have hardware wallets. We have exchanges. Mining companies get wrecked every fucking cycle. It's like funny to me. It's like the entire. I think my perception is that mining is like subsidized by idiots that don't understand. You're better off to just buy Bitcoin instead of
Yeah,
investing into mining, and then after like
I'm
four
starting
years,
to have this.
after a cycle they get wrecked and they probably realize, okay, maybe we should have just bought Bitcoin instead of doing this.
Yeah, I was trying to buy a miner, one ASIC to mine, and yeah, I just decided that it was better to buy Bitcoin. But I think that was because the ASIC was too expensive here. There was no a not a good supplier. But yeah,
I
but
mean it's not completely true. I mean when you have stuff like there are interesting business cases when you have like the flare gas and the um, there are some niches here and there where things make sense, but I for the most part I think in general the uh, a big mining operation well if you're big enough and your power's cheap then of course yeah then it makes sense but
but
um,
what I think is my understanding of this is that the miners they just keep the Bitcoin.
yep
They don't sell, like
yep
they
yep
they keep the Bitcoin. So
it's
it's an speculative thing. It's not a real business.
correct. So it's just a way of buying Bitcoin
Mm. Yeah.
at a
So
large scale, not
what gets
using the
wrecked is not the
exchange.
mining operation. It's the speculative investment they made in Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, uh, if it can't stay liquid long enough, right? Because otherwise you just reinvest. But then, and also funny about this cycle was what is it's hilarious to me. They use the mining the ASICs themselves as collateral for loans. So, and the reason why it's completely bonkers is because Bitcoin is very volatile. So you wouldn't necessarily use Bitcoin as a collateral for loans, or people are very wary of using Bitcoin as collateral for loans. You have to like a large LTV, etc. But
Hmm.
ASICs are like they're like a leverage instrument on the Bitcoin price in
Are they
practice, right? If
really?
the yeah
The
because
price of the ASICs, it changed a lot
yeah it
depending on the
fluctuates
price of the.
way harder than the price does
Oh, I
because
didn't expect that.
it's because there are two factors. So basically, what the value of your ASIC. So the way ASICs are valued is kind of silly. Um, it's a linear extrapolation of the um, dollar per hash, and your dollar per hash is is a relationship between the difficulty rate and the price, right? So if the difficulty goes up, the value of an individual hash goes down, and if the value of Bitcoin goes, if the difficulty goes up, then the value of the individual hash goes down, and vice versa. And if the price goes up, then the value of the value of the individual hash goes up because the Bitcoin you mined became more valuable. So because you have those two factors here playing, um, they can they can turn against you both really fast, and that's what happens uh, when you have a bull
Mm.
market. Then the price goes up, so now there's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of investment into mining. There is it's lagging because it takes time to set up the infrastructure, etc. So then the difficulty starts to follow the price, but later, and then the bull market peaks, but then the difficulty still ramps up because there's still mining operations coming online. So the peak of the difficulty is later than the actual peak of the bull market. So then the price is already crashing, and then it basically crosses the difficulty. So now the difficulty is very high, so your
Hmm.
hashes aren't worth that much, and the Bitcoin is starts to crash, so those aren't worth that much. So you basically have like a squared function.
So it is a it's unavoidable that there will be these mining companies failing
You know, if
every
they know
time.
what they're doing, but if they're using the ASICs as collateral for the loans, yeah, okay, and then, I mean,
No, but even without that, they still
and then also what's
most
important is
of them
because
will.
it's about marginal profit. So the value of an ASIC just plummets basically to zero the moment it becomes unprofitable, right? So you at the end of 2000 or at the end of the bull market, the 2017 cycle, so somewhere in 2018, I think, the value of like an S9 it went for like a couple of bucks. You could have bought them for next to nothing.
I
simply because
couldn't
it's just
because
the value of those
it's not
machines
here.
were
There's no one selling them here. I would have bought one.
at the time you could have really you could have just for like $10 maybe $50 whatever. Yeah, you could have bought an S9.
That's not true because they are still valuable
No,
for
but
some people,
yes, but that's the thing. So um,
and
it's
some people would be willing to pay more for them, as they
uh,
did probably.
well, so okay, so things so the difficulty about talking about the mining industry is that it's very much in flux. So things change a lot over time. Dynamics change a lot. So I guess what has happened now is that there are enough of these marginal opportunities where your energy cost is very low or close to zero, or maybe even negative. And in that context, it doesn't really matter how efficient your machine is. It's just every hash is a hash at that stage. Because part of the if especially when like the energy cost is negative or something, then the value you actually provide, the service you provide in this situation is merely the fact that you're consuming energy. It's consuming energy as a service, and then the fact that you're actually producing hashes is a bonus. Um,
Okay, you're getting too philosophical here. My brain can't follow anymore.
okay, that's fine. So, but the point is that the price fluctuations of ASICs go way faster than Bitcoin. They can become very expensive and then really cheap in a very short amount of time. So
Do you
using
follow
that,
these things closely? Do you know people that mine? Do you mine?
no, I don't personally mind. Um, the reason I know is because I looked into this. I looked into this in 2016 and 17, and uh,
And you decided to mine Ethereum with your gaming computer.
it's a there is a sad story there that doesn't involve Ethereum, by the way, but I guess that's for another moment. So okay, we have mining companies, we have exchanges, we have hardware wallets.
We
Okay,
have a very boring game here with
yeah, carriers.
carriers. Carriers are so boring.
Yeah, I hate carriers. They're annoying.
When Protoss makes carriers, it's just this boring game of these Goliaths shooting at the carriers
Yeah, but
and nothing else.
the main problem normally, so this is Flash, so it's not a normal game. But normally it's like, okay, if the Protoss gets to the point where they have this many carriers, it's like the game is already over. You should have prevented them from getting these carriers in the first place.
Yeah, maybe
But this is Flash,
because
so it
a lot
doesn't
of
matter.
Goliaths. I think a lot of Goliaths always win against carriers.
Yeah, but carriers can just abuse the terrain of the map. Anyway, so yeah, so there's no money in Bitcoin. So I guess
Okay, so why you were talking about this? There's no money in Bitcoin.
okay, so because then the next thing is like if there's no money in Bitcoin, then the truth of the matter is that it's just charity, right? That every work that is going into Bitcoin is a charity case. There's no investment.
Well, at some point there will be hyper Bitcoinization. It will happen suddenly.
Of
The
course,
game is over.
I'm talking in absolute here, right? This was more true
Uh,
in the past, and it becomes less true in the future. I reckon that
I
there
think
are
I think
viable
like
Bitcoin
someday,
businesses right now, but
someday maybe this month we'll wake up and the world will be hyper Bitcoinized.
wouldn't that be
I
nice?
hope. I'm hoping for that, and then all the companies that are positioned to ex- explore that moment, they will be the billionaire companies.
That would be nice.
That's why they're doing it. Like it's a risk they're taking with the expectation that at some point they will just be thrown to the absolute profitability. Yeah.
But if the so
If that doesn't happen, they will just spend all the VC money and
correct.
decay, and then a new one will show up later. Yeah.
Yes, but this is kind of like it's a bit cynical, but this is like my perspective of what's going on. It's like you have these VCs that think that they can invest into a Bitcoin company, but there's no such thing. You're investing into a charity. You're not gonna get your money back. I mean, it's great. I mean, I think I'm a bag holder, so I love the fact that you're investing in development and stuff, and that there are grants
Yeah,
going
but
into.
if you are a bag holder that believes in Bitcoin and you have a lot of money, well, you better invest in these companies because you're helping them the entire thing. Right?
Yes, I
These
agree.
companies
Okay, so but
exist.
then is that a financial? I mean,
No,
no, it's not. It's not a financial decision you're making. It's a
yeah,
charity's decision you're making.
yeah. I spoke with a VC sometime. I don't know, like these people. I don't know. I spoke with a guy that said he was running a VC or something like that. Angel. I don't understand these things. And I think it was Colin from the podcast who told the guy to talk to me about Nostr, I think. And then I told the guy, well, I don't have a business here. I don't intend to have a business, but you're looking to invest in stuff. And he said, oh, I don't care very much about the profit. So it's kind of mixing the ideals of the guy of how to put money on a thing to make it it grow, but it's like he talks as if it's an investment, but it's not really. I think there may be a lot of that kind of mentality.
And what we need it because normally, so I think the scale or the time scale uh, of working on Bitcoin is um, normally something that governments would do, right? So it's infrastructure.
Governments cannot do anything that is useful.
Okay, so this is it's um like the time horizon for a business is
Yeah,
about
this is
15,
this is the
15
this is the
years.
discourse. Like they 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 want you to believe that governments exist to invest in infrastructure stuff that the private sector would never. But Bitcoin is the proof that the private sector can do these things,
Uh,
as you can see,
it's it's a
even
bit
if
of
it's not economical.
it's yeah okay so yeah so Bitcoin is a bit of an outlier there, um, because I think the speculative hype around it helps a lot here, and there's no necessarily a lot of speculative hype. It's global speculative hype, um, uh, and I don't necessarily think there's going to be a lot of global speculative hype around building a bridge. But so uh, the time horizon for business types of financing is about 15 years. Sometimes it's a bit longer. Recently, in the last few decades, it seems to be shifting to a bit longer time horizon, but that's also a uh, we're in a strange situation where I guess the finance sector just dictates our fucking economy right now. I mean, if you ask me,
I was thinking of something unrelated to this,
so
but related to the bridge. There's a city nearby here that uh, people wanted a bridge in some place that has a river passing inside the city, and the government or mayor or whatever have had promised to make the bridge, but they were not making the bridge for many years, and the people that lived there were like complaining about the lack of the bridge, and then the drug traffickers made the bridge because it would help their business of selling drugs. Okay, sorry.
um,
Another counterexample to your thesis. Okay,
I, I, I,
please
I,
go on.
I disagree because I think like what drug like mafias and that type of stuff. It's just mostly another type of government or another type of state. Um, it's about commons, right? It's about investing in the commons, and
Yeah, but in this case, you can. I don't know. Like, yeah, these mafia people, they are like a state. I agree. But in this case, you can explain it by just being just an economical decision because it makes access to the favela that sells the drugs easier for it expands the client base. Okay, never mind. I just
Yeah. Okay, so what's underlying here is it's about scale and common interest, and in order to the institutions that we have to organize uh, common interests at this type of scale, that is the state. And the reason why it is the state is because it is at that scale, and whatever the common quote unquote common interest is, and determining what that common interest is a political process. So it's not. It's about the restrictions of space in square meters. There are people living there, right? It's not a private business can't just go and it's like, okay, we're gonna build this bridge and nobody cares. It's like, no, you probably have to go to destroy something in order to play. There are already people with vested interest there. The moment you want to do something, if it's like an open desert, then of course nobody cares because there are no vested interests. But in the coordination of that vested interest,
okay. I agree. I agree. It's a problem that has to be solved. These political decisions, but I disagree that the government, as it exists, is the best way to solve it, and I disagree that there will not happen. It's not possible that another organization uh, appears and solves that problem
no, but
in a different way
so
that we can predict.
yes, but the point
Anyway,
is that that other organization is just going to be the other state, and that's what
no, no, I'm not. I'm
that's
not saying
where.
like not an organization that
Yes, but
has
that was
a
where I was going with
I mean,
financial.
like
Currently, the
it could
financial
be.
sector rules us, right? If you would ask me, then Amazon is just dictated by financial institutions to be the super corp, because there's proceeding in the because now it makes money, right? After destroying all the fucking competition by undercutting them in price, it was just endless of refinancing. And what is refinancing at very low interest rates and low interest rates and endless money supply and all this stuff,
Interesting.
other than just a political decision as to this is the thing that we want to. This is the direction that we want to go. This is the organization that we want to perform this task in society. Because
Interesting.
they're undercutting the competition, just like it's not fair
And they
competition.
wouldn't be able to do that if they didn't have the free money.
Correct. Yeah, they would
Yeah.
have to abide by the same restrictions that all the other businesses have to go by, and
Yeah, but it's not the
then you
financial
can't
sector.
afford to just
It's
be
the government.
going decades running negative numbers. Like, we're a growth company.
Well, VCs can put the money there.
Yeah, so that like I said,
Maybe.
in the last few decades, there has been a shift here. I guess that 15-year time frame has moved up a little bit, but in general, if you're talking about 30 years or longer, let's say a church, right, or a cathedral, it took a fucking 100 years at some point, or for some of them, to build that thing. The people who designed them and organized it and start building
Have you
it
seen
never saw it
that
finished.
castle?
Hmm?
That castle that they're building in France? You should go there, since you're an European, a guy of the higher classes. Have you seen that? There's some people making a castle in the medieval style,
Ah,
and
interesting.
they're taking like 40 years to build the thing. But it's like it's a tourist spot.
Uh huh.
You can go there and watch people making the castle and buy some stuff.
That's a bit larpy. Uh,
Yeah, but they're really doing it.
I mean, we have plenty of castles here that already exist. I don't need to go
But
to
no one
France
is
to
being
watch them
built
build a
in
new
real
one.
time.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll send you a link. Maybe you're interested in going there.
And I guess, but the point that I was making is like Bitcoin is at the same scale. It's not. Uh, and that's why I also mentioned it's like it's going to be less true in the future that there's no money in Bitcoin because we're getting closer to this 15-year time frame of actually investing, doing research and development, and actually having a product and start making money. But I think a large part of it is on this 30-year time frame, and everybody putting in the effort, or they're just throwing money
Well,
in a bottomless
I
pit
think
called
I
the
think
commons.
it will be profitable to have a Bitcoin company when it's not a Bitcoin company anymore. It's a company that does something and then does payments with Bitcoin.
Yes, but that's not so.
But
This is exactly the
for
point.
now, yeah, for
Bitcoin
now
is a
you only
commons.
have
It's a,
three.
there's no you can own the BTC. Okay, that's fine. But then like there's no money, and it's like okay, there are no shares in Bitcoin other than the BTC itself, right?
Yeah,
And as I also and okay, this goes into why so Bitcoin is not yet proven, right? Because there's a fundamental hypothesis underlying Bitcoin that eventually fees will carry the system, and we're not there yet because it's still subsidized by distribution.
yeah.
And
Well, my opinion on this is you need more users, and when you have more users, we will have more fees. And if you
of
don't have
course,
more users, you can shut this thing down and whatever. I don't care about the
okay,
fees.
but
But some people they're very worried, like
yes, but
they want Bitcoin to keep existing, to exist forever with these 100 users that it has today. But to me, that's not interesting at all. I don't care about Bitcoin if it's too small, and I think it's taking a lot of time, much more time than I expected. Yeah,
yeah, and I would say it's like it's gonna take more time than your readjusted expectations are now currently. You're not gonna wake up in a month with hyper Bitcoinization.
I still believe it. I will keep believing. If I stop believing, I will start. I will just quit and do something else.
Okay, that's fair
I don't
enough.
know. I
We're
don't know
gonna
what.
have hyper Bitcoinization next month, fiatjaf.
Yeah,
You better hurry with Nostr.
Nostr has nothing to do with Bitcoin.
I know.
I find
Well,
it. Have you looked into Nostr? I think it's
yes,
so
yes, but
interesting. It's so weird
but
that
I
Bitcoiners
disagree.
like it.
I disagree. I
Yeah,
disagree. I mean, the setup is gonna fail if you don't have payments among the what do you call it, the servers or the nodes or the
yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. We need payments
right.
or
So it does have
either
something to do
payments
with
or
Bitcoin because otherwise it's the same stupid idea that people could have come up with years ago and
yeah.
have and
But
failed
but
over and
they
over and over again.
no, but they could have made this idea like many years ago, and they could have did payments differently with credit cards, etc.
Do you
Why
think
not?
so? Do you
Yeah.
think that those underlying maybe
Actually,
okay so
I don't
I
think money is necessary, but I think it's a very good
yeah so
thing to
I
have.
think I do I do because otherwise all these all these types of networks have failed. And I understand it's not fully peer to peer, but then ultimately, okay, then you've just you've made the inner circle a bit smaller, right? Because now you have users and relay servers and that type of stuff. But the point is still the same. Um,
I
so
think these
you
all
need
the networks
markets.
failed. Uh,
You need markets for this stuff.
yeah, maybe, but the point I was raising was why why are Bitcoiners so interested in it? What Bitcoiners see in this Nostr thing that has nothing to do with Bitcoin in principle? That why do they care? I don't understand this.
Oh, I that I can explain because it's they like distributed computing and computer networks, but at least a large part of it
Why did but other
of
things
the
are more
hardcore Bitcoiners.
distributed, like the IPFS stuff or all this other crap that exists.
Well, there's some interest in IPFS. Other than that, it doesn't necessarily really work.
Yeah, but Nostr is like the worst thing. It's just servers and web technology and all the stuff that people don't like. These
Uh,
cypherpunks, they don't like these things.
I guess so. Maybe.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that they apparently now Nostr is a thing that Bitcoiners like.
What is your perspective on Matrix as a protocol?
Uh Matrix is just a server, right? I think it's like
Yep.
IRC because you just
Um.
run a server and everybody connects to your server and send messages there. There's no
No.
decentralization
No. No.
actually.
No. 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 So the you what the protocol does is it coordinates chat
Okay,
environments. It
one
coordinates
server
chat
to
environments
others.
among the servers. So you uh
So it's like the Mastodon stuff, but for chat.
something like that. Yeah. But the thing is, like
Yeah,
you can you can run it all yourself if you want.
yeah,
So
but if
then
you join a giant chat room,
yeah,
your server will have to fetch all the messages from the giant chat room.
correct. So the chat room is distributed or shared among all the participating servers. Yes.
I think it's inefficient,
Yes, that decentralization is inefficient.
but like it's uh, I don't know. I think it's inefficient in the same way Mastodon is. That it doesn't matter that you have a lot of servers because all the servers will still have to have all the data basically.
Yeah, but only in the chats that you're participating in, or
Yeah,
your
but if you
users
have
are participating in.
if there are two big servers with a lot of users in it in each, then these users will cross. They will join. Basically, there will always be one user that is in one of the chat rooms of the other server, such that both servers will end up having all the messages. Like in this simplified example,
Yeah, but okay, so the situation now is that you have the matrix.org server,
it
and
has
then
everything.
99% of the users are there.
Yeah,
But if okay, so if we were to set up a chat among each other, then we don't have to care about the fact that 99% are at the matrix.org server in 99% of all the chats because we just have to chat among each other. And the fact that it's a server client model allows us to have to just install the client on our phone and our desktop and I don't know some web client and your mom's computer and whatever, right? Because you're just logging in to the server. So
but then we have to run a server too, right?
correct, yes.
So in Nostr, how would this work? You would have you only talk your server only a server only stores whatever its own clients send to it, and other clients can just ask that server for whatever it has. So it doesn't care about other servers, and the clients do the work of, oh, if this chat is living in two different servers and one server has some of the messages, the other server has the other messages, I just ask for these messages from these two servers. These two servers don't have to send messages between each other and store all the things.
And
Does that make sense?
how do you ensure the chronological order among the messages?
I just trust the user that made the message to put a timestamp.
Okay, so you trust the user. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I don't think Nostr is good for chat, but people did chat on Nostr. I think it works better
all right, so
on
Matrix
Twitter
as a
stuff.
protocol is geared towards chats among
Yeah, I
in
know.
group chats and that type of stuff. I mean, it works, and it's the it's modernized. I mean, what's the
I
other
used
one?
it for a while. Yeah,
It has all the new features, right? That we have in Telegram and you kind of expect there to be. Um, and the encryption is up to date and all that type of stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, it becomes very heavy to run a server pretty quickly. Also
Hmm.
because I don't think it's necessarily optimized the way the implementations are written. So, but I guess the reason the reason Bitcoiners are interested is because um, they are very much interested in um, recapturing the internet or the web, right?
Why not? They're not interested in Matrix.
I guess to some extent they are. They're also
Yeah, to
interested
some extent they are.
in Mastodon, and they're interested in.
Yeah, that's true.
But the problem is
That's
has
true.
always been that every so often there is a new protocol that is invented, right? That we're gonna make a new protocol, and this is gonna be the thing, and we're calling it Nostr, and Jack Dorsey is sending us Bitcoin to develop it, and then it goes nowhere.
Yeah, but Nostr is really good. This time is different.
This time is different. So this is for me Bitcoin for a long time Bitcoin was exactly the same to me. It was just another protocol idea that I came across like all the other fucking protocol ideas that I've come across, and it stuck around for long enough and it grew. And also the price is a nice signal, right? It's a good
Yeah.
indicator of it's a very clear indicator of like the activity and how relevant a thing is. Um,
So mostly irrelevant by now.
I would disagree. I mean,
Well, we should be at 100K
yes,
according to
okay,
that
but
chart.
then if you, but the thing is fucking 17,000 right now. $17,000 for this weird, stupid, abstract
Yeah, but
thing. 17 fucking $1,000.
yeah, but you can say that to me because I expected much more from 17,000. Whatever, I don't care. It's very low.
This thing started at zero. It was worthless when it started out, and now it's at 17,000.
Yeah, the first time I heard about it, I thought it should never have value according to my theories of value, Austrian stuff. But it already had value when I first noticed it. So I don't know how I was able to live with that.
When I really
Also,
started,
I mined Bitcoin on my computer in 2011.
yeah,
No GPU, just a very old CPU for the time, and I left the computer mining while I was sleeping, and I got 5,000 satoshis in 2011.
but but then so technically it had a price in 2011, but it wasn't necessarily worth anything.
Hmm, really?
Yeah,
Well, it was.
you could have gone to the forums and just asked, and people would have given you
No,
Bitcoin.
in 2011 you already had like exchanges.
Yes, but you could have gone to the forums and asked, and people would have sent you Bitcoin.
Well, they would send a very small quantity.
Hmm.
They would send very very little, some satoshis, right?
Mm,
Like people are doing today with
there, there were
these.
so I guess in 2000 there were still faucets. I don't know those faucets. Those were a couple. Those were just satoshis.
There are
Uh,
faucets today.
but
Like there are faucets for 50 satoshis and
no, no,
stuff
no,
like
no,
that.
no, no.
There are.
Oh,
There are.
currently, yeah, yeah, yeah. Lightning. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But in 2011, um, I don't know. Okay, so maybe in 2010, people would have given you the whole
One Bitcoin.
Bitcoin,
Hmm.
like maybe a couple or one or whatever, just like, okay, here, try this stuff out. Um, so maybe in 2011 it got a little bit less. I mean, the online faucets, those were satoshis, but then obviously because otherwise you would just be robbed. That would go really fast. It would have been whole Bitcoin. But so I mean, at that stage, it was like, I guess, like, okay, yeah, it had a price, but I don't necessarily think it had real value. When was the pizza transaction? What year?
I think it's 2010 probably. I don't know. Yeah, probably 2010. If 2011 already had exchanges. Uh, okay, let's end this magnificent show because I'm really tired.
Okay, so to wrap it up, um, so you're in control of 22 million Bitcoin right now because Jack Dorsey bought Nostr from you.
Yeah,
Um,
22 million Bitcoin exactly.
and no,
And
so
I had to pay 1 Bitcoin to the lawyers. Yeah.
how are you? So you got this draft document. Did you get any feedback on it?
A lot of people say it was very good, but it wasn't supposed to be good. It was just supposed to steer conversation. And I made it on Google Docs because they had the comments stuff and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted people to comment. But they also have a feature called suggest edits. And then people started suggesting edits. And the suggested edits they actually show on the document
Mm-hmm.
as actual edits.
Ah.
And then they borked all the document. And a lot of spammers joined and started borking everything. And then they started putting Bitcoin addresses there. And the Google Docs stuff doesn't have a way to like allow the document to be commented on but not edited, so it's very poor product, very bad.
um.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. I wish I didn't have gotten this money.
I understand. I understand, and I don't know what to. I don't know what actual wisdom is here. Um. Um. If it and it's interesting to think about it, to what extent this might actually frustrate other than help, or to what extent it frustrates things to helping. Is this a net benefit? I
Yeah,
don't necessarily think it's obvious that it is. Um, Also, not that
yeah, I
it's
think
obvious that it isn't.
maybe I'm
So
just seeing only seeing the bad parts now, but
yeah, but that's
maybe.
good. Yeah, but it also, I mean, that's good. It's good that you worry about it, because you've been handed a responsibility of uh, what is it, $230,000 or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, $230,000 responsibility is it's not nothing, I guess. So it's good. You should worry.
yeah, but I can't buy a Lambo with it. I was looking at the prices. Only I used one.
That would be hilarious. Like, yeah, I'm investing the money into promotion. I got a Lambo with a sticker with Nostr on the side, just gonna drive it around. That's our publicity budget. You should do
I used Lambo.
the outrageous type of marketing that Richard Hart does. Right, only buy Gucci bags and that type of stuff, and post yourself with the Gucci bags, and then talk
Well,
about
I can't
Nostr.
even look at the guy. The guy is very ugly. I don't know why his image attracts people.
It's outrage.
It,
He,
yeah.
he he forces a response by being outrageous.
Well, I don't notice his existence, so he doesn't force a response on me. I did notice when he was launching the Hex thing, but I never heard about him anymore. Like after that.
That's good. That's better. You have better things to do.
Okay.
So I wish you good luck with the responsibility that you have. Um, it might be just a good idea to I don't know, maybe distribute it already. I mean, there are probably some active developers within Nostr. Just split it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can have this, no strings attached. Just figure out what you think the best way
There
is
are
to
many.
be.
There are way too many developers right now, and some have stuff that works. Some have that stuff that isn't very good, but some have stuff that is better. Some are like they're here doing stuff on Nostr for a year now, and there are others that started yesterday.
Yeah,
How do I split?
you take up to 7 people, so six because it includes yourself. So Jack Dorsey needed to find somebody legitimate enough to send the money to, right? Because he's unable to figure out who. He's unable to figure out more than one person. He doesn't have the mind space or the time or whatever to figure out more than one person in relation to Nasser. You
Okay.
have. So he handed over the responsibility to for you to find more people to do it.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's the problem. How do I find these people?
Do you know two other guys?
To whom do I give? Two other. I know much more than two others.
No, but do you know two that are legitimate enough to where you're comfortable in saying I'm gonna split 1/3 towards you?
No. Oh, so they can split two others, or so
Perhaps,
they can
basically,
spend.
yeah, or do whatever they deem is best, right? The way they deal with it,
Hmm,
because
that's an
the
interesting
risk
idea.
drops tremendously fast, right? Because now there's a 14 Bitcoin risk in your hands. So maybe
That's
you're an asshole and buy a secondhand Lambo and then you fucked us over or you fucked Jack Dorsey
that's
over or
very
whatever.
interesting. That's very interesting idea.
And then
That's the
so
best idea I've heard.
but if you split it among two other guys, then now it's a one
No,
third
but
of the risk.
I'm thinking about splitting, but giving them the responsibility to do something with the money that is not just for them.
No. That's what I mean. It's like now it's their responsibility to figure
Yeah,
out what to do with the money.
yeah, that's very good idea. Holy shit! Thank you very much. Good night.
All right. See ya.
See you.